They call it journalism a profession for a reason, because it's about an informed electorate, and it's a cornerstone of our democracy. I can only speak for myself. When my records were seized, I felt it was a journalistic rape.
Welcome back to American Agenda. That was former CBS and Fox News reporter Catherine Herridge testifying in front of the House Judiciary Committee this morning in a hearing alongside other journalists at in the fight for a free press, protecting journalists and their sources. It was a hearing.
That's right. Herridge described her anguish over her former employer, CBS News, seizing her records after she was fired in February of this year, including confidential source identities and information. Let's bring in our media analyst for today's discussion, former senior advisor for Senate Judiciary Committee and founder of GRV Strategies, Garrett Ventry, and Project 21 member and publicist Whitley Yates. We thank you both for coming on. Garrett, your initial reaction to the treatment Catherine Herridge got from CBS, but the larger problem that mainstream media, I think, has right now going on, and that is going after, I think, anyone that tries to go against the grain of the kind of narrative they have.
No, it's absolutely right. I mean, they fired her for reporting facts on Hunter Biden. I mean, that's really what it is. They seized, documents, seized sourcing. This is an attack by, CBS as a news corporation on the First Amendment rights of a journalism. You're talking about journalists to protect sources, to report facts. And it's absolutely insane when you think about it. And where's the mainstream media on this, right? You would think a corporate
be a big
media
story,
entity, right? Could you imagine if another entity was doing this to a more liberal journalist? They'd freak out if they're reporting facts on President Trump, and they got fired for it. So it's absolutely ridiculous here, and you're seeing the lengths of what the mainstream media will go through to protect Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's corruption. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it goes broader than that, Whitley. It's not just about this administration, but it's more and more about the lack of what used to be a free press. I mean, the media is supposed to be the watchdog of the government, and as long as that government disagrees with the facts that are reported about them, they will do anything they can to silence those voices, and that's exactly what this hearing was about. Your reaction to the fact that journalism has actually gotten to this point in America?
It's really sad to know that journalism has a buck that stops at presidential privilege and the privilege of their children. When you're not able to report on the facts and tell stories the way that they are for fear of retribution or losing your job or speaking out against a current administration or a specific political party because you will be fined or fired, is really just totalitarian. And so this country is moving in a way where we don't value free speech or free press. And what we're seeing is a regime that is willing to create a regimen that punishes journalists and those within the media for disagreeing with their political beliefs, stances, and the facts about their family.
Garrett, we got about 30 seconds here. How much of the problem is the fact that people working at mainstream media, it's all they know? They're so one-sided. They have no room for any other kind of thought. You bring in Ronna McDaniel, they freak out completely. They have her fired. They go after Catherine Herridge. They confiscate her files. They just think they're so right. There's no other room for any other think here. This is a big problem in and of itself.
No, it absolutely is. And again, like you said, I think Ronna McDaniel is another perfect example. And they said it's because of election denying, and they've had election deniers on CNN and MSNBC saying Donald Trump didn't win and pushed the Russia hoax and all this stuff, but they didn't seem to care then. It's absolutely one-sided, and they're attacking the First Amendment and a journalist here in clear sight, and they don't care about it because she was reporting on facts against the Bidens.
Yeah, all right. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Lots more to get to, but we're going to have to keep it right here. Whitley Yates, thank you so much. And Garrett, stick around.